Hey, what's up, guys? This is Trevor Beckman. Welcome to Sideline Sports. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and let's get into it. So, first thing, Brandon Aijuk saga is never ending. So now we got some information that Steelers trade that was set in place was actually an offer for $28 million. The Niners didn't want to go for it because I'm sure they weren't going to get what they wanted in return. But this is kind of funny how now the Niners have upped their offer to $30 million and he's still not signing the contract. So now I'm thinking at this point, Brandon Aijuk is really kind of just playing games. He wants a fourth-year guaranteed, I think, on it, but he's being offered $2 million more than the Steelers were going to offer him to stay in San Francisco on a winning team. I think there's just so many games being played here. It's ridiculous, and now I just think it's on the Brandon Aijuk side at this point to stop nitpicking and just sign the contract and get it done. It's pretty frustrating at this point. I thought this was going to be done last week, but after hearing that now the offer on the table from the Steelers was $28 million and the Niners are offering $30 with 3 years guaranteed, it sounds like, and maybe a fourth-year option. I don't know what the fourth-year option is. What that is. I mean, I'm not sure what that is. Non-guaranteed money into the fourth year or whatever it is. But it's kind of annoying to see this thing go back and forth. And I think the Niners at this point are pretty much tired of it and aren't going any farther along than the offer that they've given Brandon Aijuk because it's the best one on the table. I think the Patriots are going to offer him $32 million. But again, there was nothing the Patriots had that the Niners would want. So that deal was never going to get done. It just wasn't going to happen. So that $32 million, and he didn't want to be on a bad team. The Patriots are going to be horrible. So, no, this is the best offer. He should take it and be happy. And I don't understand what the holdup is with this. Now I think he's just getting a little bit greedy. I don't know. But it's frustrating not to see him sign the damn contract. And last time I checked, when all the wells are dried up and all you got left is that one contract, your negotiating power kind of goes right out the window, right? So who is offering Brandon Aijuk any money right now? Really nobody. The Steelers turned cold, and they're not going to change their offer because they're just going to sit back and wait to see if Brandon Aijuk decides he just doesn't want to be a Niner anymore and he wants to sit out the season or whatever he's going to do. That's not going to happen, I don't think. But I do think the Niners are kind of done at this point. They're like, this is our best offer. You need to take it kind of thing. That's the feeling I get. Maybe he'll get that fourth year guaranteed. I don't know. But for $30 million, he's getting $2 more million than he was going to get from the Steelers. I know he was asking for maybe a little bit more, but $30 million is a good price point for Brandon Aijuk. Again, he's a great receiver. Is he a top 3? I don't think he's a top 3 in the league. So he's asking for that kind of money. It's just $30 million is good. He should get it, take it, and go. At this point, the Niners have come up. They've offered the $30 million. So he should just take it. Very frustrating, but we'll keep you updated and we'll follow this as it goes. I don't think it's going to go for too much longer unless Brandon Aijuk wants to be stubborn about it. But $30 million, 3 years guaranteed, pretty freaking good, man. And if you keep playing the way you're playing, then you're obviously going to get paid for that fourth year. There's no crystal ball. Nobody has a crystal ball. We can't say whether you're going to get hurt or not. But he's young, strong, athletic, and I would bet on the side of Brandon Aijuk playing 4 years without getting hurt more than getting hurt. But neither here nor there. That could be that. Anything could happen. But that offer is a good offer. He should take it. It's annoying just sitting back watching this happen, and I want it to be over. I think everybody else wants it to be over. So let's hope for it, and I'll keep you updated on that. In Giants news, the Giants lost today 6-2 to the White Sox, and this is exactly the epitome of the problems that they have. They're 4 games back now of the wild card instead of 3.5. They played the worst team, one of the worst teams in the league, and they couldn't sweep them in a time where they needed to get the sweep. They need to get those wins if they want to have any contention for, the playoffs, for a wild card spot. That's why I kind of, in my intuition is thinking they're not going to get the wild card spot because they're just not winning the essential games and the ones, that are kind of easy to win. Those are ones you got to win if you want to be a wild card team or a playoff team. You got to beat those guys and just take them out every game. So for that reason, I don't think they're going to make the wild card, but we'll watch them as they go and see. The Bats were doing okay, but not great. They only scored 2 runs. Eric Miller pitched today, and he got the loss. And he was pitching okay for most of the game, but I think he was just kept in a little longer than he needed to be. But he gave up 3 runs, and then the rest was on the following pitchers that came in, and it ended up being a 6-2 loss. So, I mean, again, the bats are quiet for the most part, and the pitching staff kind of showed up, but when it comes right down to it, and you get those situations where you need those wins to get you moving up in the closer to the wild card, and you don't take advantage of that opportunity, that kind of says it all for the year. They are a little above 500, and that's how they're playing, and that's the team that they are this year. I'm excited to see what happens in the offseason and see what happens in the next couple of years to come. Again, I said I think they have all the potential to build on what they have now, providing they keep Snell and he doesn't opt out and leave at the end of the year, and the rest of their pitching staff stays intact, and they can build on their offense and get some bats. So that's what I think. We'll see where it goes, but we got a lot of time to talk about that. In some other news, the Warriors news, some sad news. Attles died today at 87. I said Attles. Anyway, he coached the Warriors to an NBA championship in 1975. His nickname was the Destroyer, and nobody wanted to mess with him when he was on the court. Anybody who played with Attles knew that he had your back, and if there was going to be a fight or if there was going to be any kind of an aggressive type of play, you wanted him on your side. The guy was just an amazing player as far as the NBA goes, and more so for the Warriors' history. He attended a lot of the Warriors games, a lot of the Warriors functions. He was really basically involved with the Warriors till the very end. Kind of sad that he's gone, but he lived to be 87. He lived a pretty long and very amazing life. And he averaged 8.9 points per game. Not a lot, but his defense was on point. His defense was amazing. And, he led the Warriors to a championship in 1975. So that was because he coached them and, well, obviously players, but he had a big hand in that. So there's history there. Attles gone at 87, and that's too bad. So hopefully in the upcoming season they'll do a tribute to him. I have no doubt that they will. Some other Niners news. CMC will be ready for week 1. He's still kind of nursing the injury, the hamstring injury, I believe is what it was, or I got to double check that. I'm sorry. But he's nursing his injury still. I just think they're keeping him out because they don't want him to get hurt in preseason. I'm pretty sure he's ready to go now anyway. I just think he's a seasoned veteran. He's arguably the most valuable player on the team aside from Brock Purdy. So why are you going to play him in preseason? They're not going to do that, I don't think. Maybe the last game he might get in a couple of plays if they're ready to do that, but I don't think so. I think he's just going to come out on Monday Night Football and be ready to rock and roll. So, Hufanga was cleared for football activities, but that doesn't necessarily mean practice. So, will he start the season on the PUP list? We don't know yet. It's up in the air. It's 50-50. Kyle Shanahan talked about that today a little bit. There's just no way to know. He does believe that there is a possibility Hufanga can be there for the beginning of the season in Game 1, but it's hard to say. A lot of people think that he's going to start practicing as early as next week, so maybe that clearance goes from football activities, which is maybe just working out in the gym and doing some sprints and route running and stuff of that nature, to actually getting into some real practices with the team. I think those practices are going to come next week, or possibly the week after. But I think intuition says sometime, mid next week that Hufanga is going to get out there and start practicing. So I know he wants to get out there and play first week. He's just that kind of player. And, to see him out there with Mustafa on week 1 would just be awesome. I want to see this backfield and what they can do, because they are, the safeties and these guys are like ball hawks. They really are getting me excited. I haven't seen the defensive safeties, coming together and showing as strongly as they are right now. So that's going to be a strong point in the defense. I know that for a fact. It's just a matter of getting Hufanga in there just to, But there's lots of other great players that are going to support that, and I think that's going to become a strong point instead of a weak point for the Niners as it was a couple years ago and a little bit last year as well. So looking forward to that when week 1 rolls around in September. So I think that's pretty much it for Bay Area news today. I have nothing new for the A's right now. Probably not really much to talk about. They're one of the worst teams in the league. They're not going anywhere. Not really any news yet as far as what that situation in Sacramento is going to look like. As far as if the stadium is going to be ready on time, it kind of just has to, because that's where they're going to be playing. But as that kind of thing goes along, I'll give you more information on that as well. Starting next week, I will start doing live shows at 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. So tune in if you can, please. Support the channel, and you can make some comments, and I'll definitely respond to those comments on my live video. It'll be approximately 30 minutes of talking Bay Area sports. And I'm also going to implement some stuff for the Raider fans. I'm going to start talking about Raiders a little bit more, or just start talking about them. I haven't talked about them yet, but I'll start talking about the Raiders. I'm going to start talking about the Kings next week as well, and we'll go from there. So anyway, I appreciate you guys again. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Remember, hard work beats talent when talent don't work.